So hello and welcome to this webinar on healing the wounds of Atlantis. I would be really grateful to those of you that are listening live if you could let me know using the chat box that you can hear and that the sound is working. This is a listen only webinar because for most of the healing, you're going to be journeying inward, yet working with your imagination and your eyes closed. So it's better to have it as a listening only webinar. And so if you could use, hi Laura, nice to see you. And hi everyone else. I'm glad you can hear. And please, if you're listening live, use the chat box at any point to share your own wisdom, to ask questions, to share your own guidance. I really love my webinars to be co-creative. And we are in circle with each other, even though we might be in different parts of the world. So please know that at any point, you can use the chat box to be co-creative in this webinar. For those of you that do not know me, my name is Katie. I'm from Starlight, and Starlight runs all sorts of courses and workshops and sacred travel adventures that use ceremony and spiritual tools to help people become more empowered and connected and live more of their path and truth. And I'm a channel, so most of what I do is channeled and therefore very much in flow. And I feel really strongly about the subject of this webinar because I've actually seen firsthand so many times the results of working with the story of Atlantis and working through the wounds of Atlantis. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that before we begin our journey. But yeah, it's something I've become deeply passionate about because it is one of the most amazing things I've seen so many times, time and time again, when people come to Atlantis and they choose to work on the level of Atlantis. They transcend something so deep within them that they completely change and completely shift. And because of that, I am deeply, deeply passionate about the subject of this webinar. And like I said, I'll go into a bit more detail before we start the healing journey. But I would like us to begin with a meditation just to bring you into circle, to bring you into presence. And so when you're ready, closing your eyes, feeling the muscles around your eyes relaxing as you breathe in love and breathe out gratitude. Breathe in love and breathe out gratitude. experiencing a column of light from the center of the universe cascading down now into your energy field, instantly raising your vibration and traveling down into the core of the earth. And as this light meets the heart of Mother Earth, of Mother Gaia, experience it bouncing off the heart of the earth and traveling back up through you into the heart of Source, so that you are held in a two-way flow of love and light. And as you're held in this two-way flow of love and light, experience your auric field being surrounded by golden and angelic light now, so that only love and light can enter into your aura. And a foot away from the edge of your aura, experience ribbons of the violet flame wrapping around all sides of you, so that any energy that is released from any direction during this webinar is transmuted into love and light by the sacred violet transmutation flame. Knowing that you're held by all of this light, give yourself permission to arrive into the present moment, inviting your whole self, your soul self, to be here. Feeling the magnetism of your love, calling your whole self here. Choosing to gift yourself this webinar, to give it your full attention, to align with it so that you receive all that you are meant to receive and release all that you are meant to release. Trusting that as with every healing, you are here because it is the perfect healing for you at this time, in this moment of your path. And as you come into that trust, feel yourself opening to this journey, into the alignment of this journey. As you become aware of all of the guides, angels, star beings, goddess energies, priest, priestess, and priesty energies that are supporting this webinar, that are supporting you and sending you love. And you become aware of the people that you are sharing this webinar with, the circle that you are in, which my guides are saying is a soul family circle. Feel the bonds of the soul family circle, whether you are listening live or in the future, holding you, in community, supporting you in community. Notice that in all of this holding, you can be gentle. Your energy body can be soft and receptive. And in all of this holding, you can be here. You can hear your truth. And some of you might have some big emotions coming up already. That's just part of the process. They're coming up to be released. And as you feel your heart beating with the heartbeats of all the love energies that are supporting this webinar, your heart beating with the heartbeat of Mother Earth, your heart beating with the heartbeat of Source, your heart beating with the heartbeat of those in your soul family that you're sharing this webinar with, your heart beating with the heartbeat of your path, the heartbeat of your soul. Breathe in love and breathe out gratitude. Breathe in love and breathe out gratitude, and when you are ready, open your eyes and come into the room. Noticing how you feel. Please, if you're listening live, use the chat box to let me know how you're feeling. I've pulled a card for us at the start of the webinar, and it's transformation. It's like I said, it's so in alignment with this deep wound work for Atlantis. And so, yeah, I could really feel the soul family energy. There's a real cosmic energy to this webinar, which is lovely. And I can really feel all of you. And there's also quite a lot of emotion coming through, which is always a good thing. It means that our higher selves are opening us up for healing. And so, like I said, if you're listening live, let me know how you're doing, because it makes it more co-creative. And while I'm waiting for your responses, I'm just going to open this webinar. I'm just going to take, perfect, so you're coming through now. And saying, feeling calm, feeling my heart, everything in front of my body. Invite that everything into your body, lovely. Become embodied, that's part of worthiness. But that's wonderful that you're feeling calm and feeling in your heart. And Laura's saying, coming into presence nicely, feeling cells all activating. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I'm feeling the tingling. And Diane's saying, didn't want to open my eyes. That's great. That means you're really in your heart, actually. And you're really there. And Safi's saying, oh, so beautiful. Could see us dancing around in this big golden field, blue and white dresses with pink flowers in hair. I feel so light and free and happy. And Laura can feel the womb. Yeah. There's a lot of feminine wound energy in Atlantis as well. So that might be what you're healing, which is where you're guided to the womb. And Safi, I feel like you're seeing a vision of priestesses in Atlantis, which is lovely, and Helen, deeply emotional. That's good. Never ever judge your emotions. Certainly not when you're listening to a Starlight webinar. It means they're coming up and out. But I say a Starlight webinar, but whenever your emotions belong, they're part of the process. And Reagan saying, feeling like I'm floating in a warm ocean with my soul family. Yes, my cells are floating and tingling too. Oh, I'm getting emotional with the joy of the soul family connection that's here. So thank you all. So just to express a little bit about my journey with Atlantis. I work a lot with Atlantis, but it was never my intention. It was one of those things that came through me opening my heart and saying, universe, I'm of service. What do you want me to do? And the universe saying, go over here and do this. My guide saying, do this. And really at the core of my path, I'm a grid worker and a portal worker. And my light work and earth work is especially connected to the crystal grid, which is the grid that holds the projection of human collective consciousness. And so because of that, oh, sorry, there's more lovely things coming through. Elsa's saying, I'm crying inside. I've been hit by a huge cold. Brilliant. That means your truth is clearing. Let your truth clear. Colds are clearing your connective truth. And Laura's third eye is throbbing. So good. Things are opening up for all of you. And so my light work and earth work is very much with the crystal grid, which holds the projection of our collective consciousness. So the world as it is now, expressing the collective consciousness. And obviously, let the overwhelm up and out, let the frustration up and out, and come into the stillness. Don't push. Come into the stillness that the cold has. And so with this work with the crystal grid, we're in this time of ascension, and we're really releasing a lot of our old collective consciousness from generations and from other times, in order for humans to ascend and Gaia to ascend and ascension to happen. And it was really through that light work that guidance started coming through about Atlantis. And I didn't really believe in Atlantis, like suddenly my guides are talking about Atlantis. And I was like, really? And lots of people don't believe in Atlantis. And my guides have actually given me some channeling on that. And they've said that, when you don't believe in Neverland, or you don't believe in Moomin Land, it's got no charge to it. You just don't believe in it. You just don't have a connection with it. The disbelief in Atlantis is so charged. People get so emotional and so strong about it. And what my guides say is that it's post-traumatic stress. Like, we have done a cancelling it out because it was so traumatic. The fall of Atlantis was so traumatic. And so getting into the belief of it is step one, really. But what the guidance on that is just stories are human superpowers. You can really connect to so much of yourself through a story. It's how we have healed ourselves for generations. So you are more than welcome to just see it as a story and use the story of it to connect and heal. What I have discovered through the work that I do, and in my truth, and believe me, everybody's truth is valid, but in my truth, because I do a lot of portal work, which really allows people to dimensional journey and go to different times and soul landscape and dimensional channel. I've really had the proof of Atlantis in that I've been in groups of people in ceremony and they've had the same visions come up with no conversation of it. I've visited Atlantis through dimensional channeling and seen it with my own eyes. Like I've had the proof, and if you want the proof, the universe will send you the proof that is right for you. But what's happened is that as this proof has been shown to me, and actually more and more of my work, especially my earth work, has really been taken towards Atlantis, is that I've started to understand that so many of our blocks and our subconscious blocks are actually connected to this trauma from Atlantis. So the other type of work I do is a lot of subconscious healing and alchemy healing, which deals with the subconscious. And actually, many of us are carrying this Atlantis trauma in our DNA, in our subconscious. And when you weave the healing back far enough, the root of it is in Atlantis. And I've had so many experiences of groups of people in Japan, in Ibiza, in Malta, in England, where we'll get to an Atlantis block and all of them will come up with the same experience. And sometimes these experiences can be really random. Like when I was in Japan in January, I was teaching a workshop on channeling, and suddenly the whole group went numb. You know, that's quite a weird thing to happen to a group of people, but the whole group were like, I'm feeling really numb. And they went numb for a day. And the next morning, it was a weekend workshop, I was channeling, and before the workshop, and my guides were like, look, this numbness that they're all experiencing, they're a soul family group that essentially had they were mermaids, and they got experimented on in the fall of Atlantis, and they're connecting to that experiment energy, and it's blocking their connection. And so, and I'd had lots of synchronicity and past guidance about these experiments and stuff. So I trusted it, even though it sounds really weird. And we went into a big healing of it. And oh my gosh, this group of people, the turnaround was amazing. Like as soon as we cleared out that blocked energy, as soon as we cleared out the wounds of those numbness, the fear, you know, the mermaids were experimented on for their connection. And so all these people in a channeling workshop, the minute they open up to connect, are having this trauma memory happen of feeling like they were forced to connect, of feeling the trauma of being experimented on, and it's blocking their connection in a really physical way. And as soon as we healed it, and as soon as we released it and acknowledged the memory and witnessed the memory and let it pass through, like all of their third eyes open, and suddenly they're all channeling, and like, you know, the turnaround was like, as somebody that teaches a lot of channeling workshops, I've never quite seen a turnaround that quick of people awakening into their channeling gift. And it's one of many stories that I have of people's lives really being changed once they visit the Atlantis memory. And what my guides say about it is that you know, ascension happens on a spiral, and so to give you the basic story of what my guides have given me about Atlantis and why it's so important, is that the human collective decided, the human collective soul, all of us, decided that we were going to do something really brave and explore separation consciousness so that we could learn how to come back to oneness, how to come back from separation consciousness and come into sovereignty and oneness and learn many, many different lessons. And it was decided at the dawn time of Atlantis that we would do this for our own evolution. And in order to do this, we planned, the highest part of our souls planned this incredible journey where we would go into a golden age of amazing connection and wonderful things. And then through this golden age, we would birth the fall, and the fall would give us egos and those egos would create our separation consciousness. And in the fall of Atlantis, we would have to fall from that golden age. It's a bit biblical. We'd have to fall from that Garden of Eden age into the Piscean age to have all of those amazing lessons. And then at the end of the Piscean age, we would learn to come back into oneness consciousness and learn how to recreate the golden age, but do it for ourselves. So it's deeply empowering. And it was decided that we would forget all of this. We forget this plan so that we could fully experience it and fully live it. And that's what was really so courageous about it. And so everybody that is alive today was really involved, especially in both the golden age and the fall, because we chose it. And what is happening at the moment is, if you imagine the fall as being like a spiral down, we are now on that spiral and we're having to go back up through the fall and heal it and heal the trauma of it in order to get into the golden age of Aquarius. And at the same time, we're having to connect to Atlantis to remember all that we forgot, to remember the ancient ways, all of the things we forgot in order to create the time of separation. So Atlantis is really important for us to be able to create the new golden age, the new ascended age. And it's also really key that we heal those wounds that were created during the fall in order for us to be in separation. And they're really coming up, they're really purging at this time on Earth and being shown to us in the collective consciousness. That's why there's this contrast between how we're all feeling and how we're all feeling and what's going on in the world, because the crystal grid, the collective consciousness is purging. And so Atlantis is absolutely key at the moment, and going back into those memories and going back into those wounds in order to release them out of our DNA is absolutely key to get into the next phase of the spiral. And going beyond into the golden age and the dawn age is also key, because it allows you to download the gifts you once had, the knowledge you once had, to start bringing it into the world. So you're kind of connecting to 3 ages with Atlantis. And, you know, it was a very long period. It's not, you didn't just have one lifetime, you had many. And you experienced many things. But a lot of the wounds of separation, because they began in Atlantis, it's like uprooting It's uprooting them if you go back to them. And they are, like the wounds of Atlantis, are many things, but their unworthiness, their disconnectedness, their guilt, they're many, 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 many things. Do I think children being born now still have the memories of Atlantis in their DNA? Yes, is the answer. And the reason I say that is because we haven't healed it yet. And so the way my truth, my channeling, the things that come through for me are like, whilst there are children with different frequencies and there's indigo energies and crystal energies and these things, really we're a collective, and we will only be as healed as everybody else in the collective. And so yes, but the adults here today, the light workers here now, are the ones that are doing the work on what is showing up now. Whether you change it for the children as you do it, whether they'll have to do it because we didn't get it done, that's dependent on free will. But yes, everybody here is carrying some Atlantis consciousness, is my guidance, in their DNA and in their consciousness. But the great thing is that means that we also have the consciousness of the golden age. You know, Atlantis is nothing to fear. It's healing this wound is the great act of the human soul. At the moment, in this epic amount of time, and we're really at the frontier of that healing, and it's such beautiful, amazing work to do. And it's why we did all of this and had all of these experiences, so that we could learn to heal them and transcend them. It's quite beautiful, and it's quite a blessing, and it's quite an honor. And great if you're feeling connected to your mission, Claire, about working with pregnant mothers and breaking the generational pattern. There is one of the pieces of guidance I've had is that, you know, a lot of the feminine wound also started in Atlantis. And actually it was the priestesses that really brought down the fall of Atlantis. And so because the priestess energy went so into its ego, it then had to be so suppressed in the Piscean age. And we're now kind of reclaiming the old priestess ways and the old priestess ceremonies. But again, that unworthiness is coming up. Whenever we think about going into our power, whenever we think about coming into our ceremonial power, about reclaiming our priestesshood if we're women, or priesthood if we're men, or a priesthood if we're unity beings, most people have a reaction and a resistance to it, because that as soon as they connect to that, they're also connecting to the trauma of the fall of Atlantis. And they're also connecting to a fear of their power and a sense of unworthiness and all of that. And that's why it's so important to heal. And yes, Claire, you've got to feel in your own heart, but yes, I would say if you're doing this generational pattern work, then you were a priestess. And also the ego's flaring, like all of those wounds are flaring. And so it's really worth healing them. And for this journey, we're going to heal the unworthiness wound. And so when you are ready, closing your eyes, we're going to use the Dawn Pyramid. We're going to go into the Dawn Pyramid where there was no unworthiness. And there were several Dawn Pyramids we'll see which one we get collectively taken to. But we'll probably use alchemy, which is one of the most powerful healing techniques there is. It's quite a physical energy, so it can make you yawn or burp or emotional, but all of that just means it's releasing. It's an energy that recycles old consciousness and old memory into new energy, into pranic energy. So it's a bit like a washing machine, but I promise you it will pass by the end of the webinar. So when you're ready, closing your eyes, feeling the muscles around your eyes relaxing as you breathe in love and breathe out gratitude. Breathe in love and breathe out gratitude, feeling Goddess Tanit overlighting you with her orange sunlight rays. She's one of the guardians of the knowledge of Atlantis. And feeling the angels of Atlantis coming around you, and the priesti, who are the unity beings of Atlantis, coming around you. As the star nations fill your auric field with the sacred geometry that is needed for this healing, the alchemical sacred geometry that activates the aura alchemy in this specific geometric code is personal to you. It relates to your unworthiness wound, and as it is activated in your aura, through beams of starlight, notice how you feel. Sacred white fire, alchemical geometry is activated in your energetic and physical DNA now. Trust that this alchemical geometry will purge and recycle the unworthiness energy, the wound energy, anything you feel or see as you experience your aura spinning now. Spinning with midnight blue starlight energy as Anhara fills your aura with golden light and helps you spin through no time, no space. Feel your grounding cord connecting your physical body to Gaia. As you feel your third eye opening, and in no time, no space, you open your heart to the dawn of Atlantis, feeling yourself guided into a landscape that will be shown to you in your mind's eye. A landscape that will be shown to you as a memory. This landscape is full of light, and as you arrive in this landscape, you see an enormous crystalline pyramid of light, one of the first 6 pyramids of the dawn of Atlantis. And this enormous pyramid is the elemental pyramid of light. And you'll feel your DNA moving as you remember the pilgrimage or pilgrimages that you would have made to this ancient temple during the golden age of Atlantis. And some of you will be remembering when this pyramid fell. And allow that wound and memory to come up and release. As you walk towards this pyramid now, notice the robes that you are wearing. The robes of one of your priest, priestess, or priesthood. And entering into this pyramid, you'll feel a release of emotion. And almost like the wound of unworthiness, really burning up, coming up. You're doing really, really well. And inside the ceremonial chamber of this pyramid temple, it is filled with instruments of light. Notice what you smell and see and hear. Experience the priestess of this temple, playing and singing the opening ceremony songs. As you come to the Sulcra altar of the light, this is where the story of sovereignty of light is held. Notice that you are seeing, experiencing, and remembering this temple, this place, maybe from more than one lifetime. And now you feel a friend, a priest, priestess, or priestie of this temple coming towards you, noticing what they are wearing. And as they come towards you and embrace you, And you feel flooded with the light that they hold on a cellular level, that they hold on a vibration level because of their initiations through this pyramid temple. Feel the alchemical geometry beginning to spin and turn. As you feel the star alignment happening at this point on the spiral of ascension. As you tell your friends from this dawn time about the fall of Atlantis, and just see what spills out of you, what memory spills out of you that is causing you to feel unworthy, what trauma spills out of you that is causing your unworthiness wound that you have carried across the Piscean and Atlantean age. Just tell them what you saw, or what you did, what you remember. Really feeling that deep purge happening. Keeping your eyes closed, keeping in the journey. Maybe it's just a feeling that's coming up. Maybe it's a clear vision or a clear memory. And feel this, friends, spinning light through the alchemical geometry within you. Prisms of light, creating rainbows in your energy field and DNA as this memory is purged, and it might purge as a physical pain. And you're doing really, really well. And letting it come up and out as you feel that sense of unworthiness, that woundedness. Unworthiness is really connected to that feeling of having this golden age, of having this world that was abundant and peaceful and full of brilliance. And that feeling like we messed it up, like we lost it, that feeling of it slipping away. Bringing up that undeservingness as this world is coming back. Oh, and there's loads of fear releasing, so keep letting that out now. You're doing really, really well. And lots of guilt coming up and out. Keep letting your friend hold you, your priest self hold you. And if you're seeing any visions, let them come up and out, let them come into the recycling process. And no, Safi's seeing the falling of unicorns off a cliff into the flames. There's all sorts of horrific apocalyptic visions that come up with the fall of Atlantis. So, but know that as we release them out of our DNA, we allow the healing to complete. We allow ourselves to return to the next layer on the spiral. And that sense of not being responsible or not wanting to be responsible, let that out. That's where the unworthiness also comes in. It's like letting go of responsibility. And if you're having physical symptoms like a cold, like Elsa, just let those symptoms come into this process as well. Know that you are here because you're meant to be here. And feel it all spinning faster and faster and faster. And as the priesties start to play the attunement music for the alchemical healing that is happening within you, you feel big surges, big oceans of emotions coming up through you now. There's loads of light pouring into shadow around this now. Oh, releasing it. You're doing so well. The alchemy's spinning really fast. It's recycling it really fast, and you're experiencing this pyramid temple spinning now. You're feeling the high priests, priestesses, and priesties of this temple really sending you love, being so proud of you for this full circle journey that was foreseen and prophesied and chosen. Feeling your DNA really spinning, and the holes in this DNA, the dark patches in this DNA that have been expressing this unworthiness wound, receiving light, receiving the soul chakra, sovereign light of this temple now. You're doing really well. You might be getting hot or cold. Yeah, releasing the idea of not being able to save Atlantis. You couldn't. It was your soul path. But that feeling of being at fault, that guilt of being at fault, of being helpless really comes up as well. And it manifests in our paths now. So letting it come up and out. Letting it recycle. And yeah, it can feel a bit like having a heart attack, alchemy. Sophie's saying. And yeah, Sophie's also said she can see Egypt and Atlantis are twin flame energies. Yes, they are. And interestingly, Starlight is working with both. Atlantis has a masculine energy as well as Atlantis has a masculine and a feminine, as does Egypt. But yes, they are deeply connected. Egypt had a lot of Atlantean channels, people that channeled Atlantis and brought wisdom in. And they're very connected to each other in so many ways. And certainly Egypt lifetimes that need to purge. Oh, you're doing really well. Letting that wound up and out. And now, the sound and the light in this temple are spinning around you, because at the dawn of Atlantis they could be separate or be one. So you're in a sound light, spinning, releasing portal. And all that unworthiness energy, that wound begins to explode and release back into prana. And that old energy releases. It's like an explosion happening through the DNA that you are carrying. There's a big load of root chakra releasing happening as well. I'm feeling the stars really holding space for you, the alignment really holding space for this moment. As you let any energy that's not of service to you recycle and release. Feel the relief flashing through you. As you let go of the pain of that story, of that image, and the fear and the anger and the shame. And the unworthiness pattern. And there's a lot of energy releasing as you let go of the unworthiness pattern that image created. Doing really, really well. Now the violet flame is coming through your aura and your DNA. Just as a slow motion explosion of light is happening through your energy body, so that all energy that's not of service to you, or that is meant to be transmuted, is transmuted into love and light now. And a golden rain shower of light comes through you and takes any energy that's meant to go to the earth, and a big beam of source light comes through, taking any energy that's meant to go to source or another time dimension or place to another time dimension or place. And thank you, Claire, for that guidance. Feeling the ceremonial light pyramid. Sound light tunnel that's been created for you, turning in a different direction so that your 12 strands of DNA come into greater reconnection, into reconnection of worthiness. And it's like there's a golden ribbon going through all of your DNA, reconnecting you to the worthiness that you knew at the dawn of Atlantis, and feel that reconnection really running down your spine. Come into greater worthiness. Ooh, feeling your auric fields opening, shining with light, expanding, coming into greater worthiness, spilling out into light, coming into that feeling of worthiness as it rushes through your DNA, through this reconnection now, as you hear the priesty musicians playing integration sound light music now. And your priestess or priesty friend that has been holding space for you gives you a message about your path in this lifetime now. And this message may be a light symbol, maybe words, it may be an image. Just listen and receive as the light pyramid stops spinning and fills with divine light. And the priesties play divine prayer music, and you feel your consciousness rising and ascending upon this prayer music, becoming lighter and freer as you breathe out into this process. And you feel your friend saging you, helping you to forgive, helping you to let go into love, into wholeness. Feeling your blood flashing with the golden light of worthiness. There is an integration sound light that moves through the pyramid, and a final burst of alchemy energy as all that alchemical geometry dissolves now. And you feel the pyramid being cleansed by the 7 sunfires of Atlantis. And sparkling with light. And your friend tells you it's time to go now. You leave an offering at the altar that appears in your hand that commemorates this new completion this new cycle completion. You feel yourself leaving the pyramid, noticing who you are in this moment. As you feel the midnight blue energy portal calling you home, and you feel this dawn pyramid landscape becoming a blur. As you step into this no time, no space portal, and through this portal of no time, no space, you become aware of your physical body, of your physical life, freed of that pattern, that wound of unworthiness. Feeling your whole energy body spinning faster and faster and faster and faster as you come back into your body now. Coming into the warmth of your body. Really allowing the gravitational magnetism, the magnetic love of your body to pull you home. Feeling a golden rain shower of light pouring through your aura, washing your aura. A violet flame coming through your aura, transmuting any energy that needs to be transmuted into love and light. And a big beam of source light coming in and taking any energy that does not serve or belong to you in this lifetime to source or Gaia, wherever it is in the highest good for it to go. Finally, feel your aura stop spinning. Goddess Tanit sending you blessings. Noticing how your aura is expanded. Noticing how you feel. Noticing who you are in this moment. Letting your breath bring you home as you connect to your grounding cord, to Gaia's gravitational love. Letting the priest's message to you be heard by all of you. Feeling the worthiness inside you, that golden ribbon that ran through all of your DNA. Feeling it there, letting it shine out into all of your life, into all of your path. As you breathe in love and breathe out gratitude, and when you are ready, open your eyes and come into the room. I would love to hear how you're doing. I've pulled another card and it says awaken. Awaken to your worthiness. So if you're listening live, please do share how you're doing, how you're feeling, what you're experiencing. Helen said deeply emotional. Saw myself as a priestess standing in front of a priest sobbing, saying, I killed all those children. Priest's message is that I need to forgive myself. Do you know what? All of us had lifetimes where we did really dodgy things in Atlantis. If we're here now, we're here to clean up our mess. But we did it because the highest, most loving part of ourselves knew that this was going to create a massive leap in the collective human soul's evolution. And so that's why you forgive yourself, because you did it for a greater good learning. Yes, there's a lot of guilt. Claire's saying she cannot believe the amount of guilt. And it's really worth clearing it, because we live our lives with a lot of guilt, because that's purging at the moment. And so it's really worth clearing it. It's really worth just forgiving it, because it was all part of the plan, and now we're in the good part. Now we're in the good part. So it's a bit like the opposite of taking drugs, in the sense that we did the come down first, and now we're doing like the high, you know. And forgiveness, the root word of forgiveness is to marry. So just marry it. Just marry it and let it be part of. Marry it and then let it go, you know. Like, don't resist it, don't judge it, don't blame it, just transcend it. And a lot of memories are not even yours. That's the other thing. If you're a light worker, sometimes you're getting memory in the first person, but it's just from the collective memory bank. So never kind of claim or own this stuff. Just allow it to release out of your DNA, to transcend, and know that this is part of your sacred ascension work at this time. I'm gonna read some more stuff and we're gonna energetically close, but I would also like to tell some of you about our Atlantis rising journey. It's the most magical, amazing, light earth self shadow work adventure, where you do deep shadow healing on yourself and the collective consciousness. Shadow is what you can't see, so it's things like the Atlantis memories that you don't see from your normal lifetime, as well as loads of like light work, portal work, grid work. And honestly, as you can tell, there's so many layers to Atlantis. This is the fastest way to clear out all of the Atlantis consciousness and release it, and you just come back a completely different person and completely liberated, and so much easier at manifesting and creating your path, and so much more empowered, and just living in the 5D basically, because we spend 9 days in the 5D. There's loads of beautiful plant medicines, there's loads of amazing portal ceremonies. It's a journey to the Dawn Temple pyramids, which are of all the elements, and so it's really alchemical and healing. And we have all these amazing experiences. Like the last 2 years, wild dolphins have come and opened sea portals with us when we've been on a boat. It is like the light adventure of a lifetime, and honestly, it will reawaken your divine priestess, or priesthood, and make you sovereign with your path. And this particular one feels so aligned with ascension, and it's like what the guides keep saying about it is, it's like you're going to be on the frontier of ascension. Like, it's a real shift journey and a real significant journey. And so if you are called, we only have a few spaces left. We only have 5 spaces left, and if you are called, you will know it in all of yourselves. It's a soul contract. You will have signed it to be there, and I cannot wait, if you are called, to share this journey with you, because you're a powerful lot. Let's see what other people are saying. So, amazing, what a breakthrough, Claire. Hadn't realized how afraid I had been to really step into your power. So step into it now. And when something's not in shadow anymore, so shadow is what you can't see, like you didn't know you were afraid to step into your power. Now you've seen it, you've got to release it. Once you've seen it, by the law of free will, you can release it, and then bang, into your power, and gosh, life gets good. Safi saw my Atlantean jewelry in the temple. I got a gold tiara and left a sun goddess, golden queen. So empowering, ready for my path here and now. Amazing, go girl. And Elsa, I was a shepherd and I met by a Dosi priest. My unworthiness was not for protecting my people who were taken away and turned into slaves. Yeah, slavery began in Atlantis. A lot of us are not walking our paths with sovereignty, we're walking our paths with slavery. And so, whereas sovereignty is like service from worthiness. So it's a really important thing to be healing so that we don't martyr ourselves and burn out, but we stay in our brightness. So it's an amazing thing to heal that slavery consciousness. We've done quite a lot of that on past journeys, and it's really powerful. Emma, so much energy surging through my arms and hands, felt pinned back to the chair I saw as buried alive at some point, and released so much fear from that. Darkness has turned to light. Oh, so pleased for you. Face and hands and feet went completely numb. Interesting, Elsa. Maybe you've got the mermaid thing. I know you're coming to Ibiza. We're doing a lot of sea work this year as well, because the sea's in real crisis. So I feel like the mermaid stuff will be coming up again. And Claire, oh, thank you. And Laura, I can feel new empty space in my cells. Amazing. Let that space fill with worthiness. That's what alchemy does. It heals by recycling, by creating space. And then with that space, you allow your destiny, you allow your highest truth, your highest love, your truth self to magnetically come into that space, and through that space in your cells vibrate into your life. And the thing about alchemy is that it's actually an earth energy. The earth is a temple of alchemy. And so when we heal with alchemy, the healing is instant and you do feel it, but actually this healing is going to show up in a few weeks and in a few months' time, because Gaia teaches us to be patient and teaches us to heal through seasons. And so allow the divine alignment of this healing to show up now, but also next week and the week after, and then see where you are in 3 months' time and in 6 months' time. How beautiful, Elsa, that your guide guided you to give wisdom. What an amazing thing to give your unique wisdom to the light. Feels really sacred. So I've put the link up for Ibiza for those of you that are called. The early bird's running up very soon. Oh, and I've pulled a last card and it's Sacred Journey. Yes, Ibiza, Atlantis Rising is a very, very sacred journey. And know that if you're soul contracted, the universe will provide whatever you need to be there. So you just have to ask it to help you. And so closing your eyes, feeling the muscles around your eyes relaxing. Of course, if you have any questions and you're listening to this in the future, just use the link that I've put up for Ibiza to get my email address and you can contact me. I'm beyond excited for Ibiza too, Elsa. It's going to be so special. It's special every year, but this one's particularly magnificent, I feel. And just closing your eyes, breathing in love and breathing out gratitude. Sending your love and gratitude to your priest, priestess, or priesty guide, to the priesty, to the dawn, pyramid, temple of the light, to your whole self, to the changing story of your DNA, which is your ascension process. As you release those old memories, those old stories that were of service to you but are no longer. As you change your story of yourself, you ascend. Sending your love and gratitude to Tanit and Anahara and all the angels and star beings gods, goddesses, priests, priestesses, and priesties that have supported this healing, to each other, to Gaia on the crystal grid, allowing this healing that you have done for yourself and the collective consciousness to arrive in the physical manifestation of the world, to change the projections of the world. You send your love and gratitude to Gaia, to Source, to all of love, to be on time, and because what you send out, you get back. You open yourself up to feeling love and gratitude from all that is. And really receiving this love, allowing the healing to integrate. Make sure you drink water. Make sure you give your body space and time. Your body is your habitual consciousness. So if you have any symptoms, i.e. Laura saying her allergies have just been aggravated, your habitual consciousness is releasing. And sometimes the quickest way to release is through a physical symptom. So just keep inviting that sense of worthiness underneath the symptom and pushing them out. Also, my guides say of allergies and hay fever, it's a lifetime where the crops failed you, that you haven't forgiven. It's when the earth failed you. And because so many of us have had farmer lifetimes, that's why hay fever's so relevant all over the world. So yeah, release that lifetime out and use the alchemy to release it out. And allow your body to integrate. Just keep drinking water. It's big wind you've just healed and you're all feeling so light and bright right now, but allow the space. And Elsa, thank you for that wisdom. She's saying, Laura, eat honey from your area now daily and it will immunize you from hay fever in the spring. Amazing wisdom. Love you all. Thank you all so much. Hope to see some of you on the Light Adventure of a Lifetime in Ibiza. And I love you all. See you soon.